It's Friday. We're live. We're answering your questions. So let's get into it on an all-new Locked On Yankees.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. He's Brian McKeon. Brian, are you as tired as I am from Thursday night's adventures?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you went to the game. I'm just tired.
Friday was a tough one. I went to work that next morning. It was Friday was a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even go anywhere. I just stayed in bed most of the day because I was up until about 4:30 just watching Cam Schlittler strike out 12 guys over and over again.
I'm battling right now. I'm battling.
Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app, so download the app today. As I said, it's Fanmail Friday. That's what the show is. So we're going to answer your questions that you sent to us. And if we have time at the end of the show, we will chat with you guys if you have questions in the chat. But wait till segment 3 so we don't miss your questions. So if you're new to the show, we do Fanmail Friday every week. We just had to do it a separate show from the regular Friday show because the Yankees won the wild card round, which is why we're doing this separately. We have an Insiders Club. We'll tell you how to join that in a bit. They get top priority on Fanmail Friday. And every Friday we start with Betty. She asks, besides replacing Boone, because we know that won't happen, what do you think the Yankees' offseason priorities will be? Signing Bellinger or extending Chisholm?
I'm not even fully thinking about the offseason. I'm going to be honest with you, Betty. I would say you're on the money right there. It's really signing Bellinger or Grisham, whichever one they go forward with. I'd prefer Bellinger personally, but it's going to be obviously an organizational decision.
Yeah.
So whichever one they're on the men with there. I think they'd like to extend Chisholm, but I also don't think they're afraid of him going into a contract year because I have the feeling Chisholm's going to want a little bit more. He's going to try and capitalize off the 30-30 season, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah,
but I don't think the Yankees are going to want to pay that price for a player they weren't willing to pay a premium on last year at the deadline. Right. So I don't know if they're going to be giving him, $25-30 million a year like I think he thinks he's in the range of. So we'll see. I think Chisholm, the benefit they have is Jazz loves it here and has expressed that he loves it here. So they might try to get a little bit of a discount on that. Other than that, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't dove that much into the free agent lists and trades and all that kind of stuff yet. Not there.
Yeah, it's still too early. And even if the Yankees were to get eliminated earlier than we'd like them to be, I still wouldn't be because I'd be paying attention to all the other
Yeah, and there's a post-mortem period you have to get through, Yeah. Let's go to Matt V. He says, how would you manage the bullpen? Obviously Bednar in the 9th, but who should be top choice for the other innings? Would it be conditional?
I can't believe this, but I would think that Devin Williams would be 8th inning. I trust him more than I trust Weaver right now.
I would disagree only because I think his other point is higher. I think it's more on a conditional basis. Bednar obviously is the 9th inning guy, but yeah, I do think they're looking for lanes for guys. And I think they're going to try and use Weaver against guys that he has good numbers against previously. Williams is kind of different though, because he's got good numbers versus everybody. Like, how do you find his, not this year per se, but throughout years in his career, he's got good numbers against almost everybody he's ever faced. So I don't know how you find a lane for Devin Williams, a lane that's not supported by him. He's going to be supported in every lane that you're going to try and put him in. So, obviously Tim Hill is against lefties. He's one of the trusted guys, but I really think the only trusted arms right now are Weaver, Bednar, Williams, and Hill. That's it. I mean, they didn't use Duvall in any of the wild card games.
What about Cruz?
Cruz, yes, Cruz. I forgot that one. He is definitely in circle of trust. But they didn't use Duvall. They didn't use Leiter Jr. I don't know if, thank God, yeah, I agree. But I don't know if any of their other guys that you would normally consider high leverage. I mean, Leiter Jr. was a high leverage guy last year.
Yeah.
And I don't think those guys are in the circle of trust right now. So I honestly think the rest of, like, I think Devin Williams potentially is going to be their high leverage reliever. If they're in trouble in the 5th inning, if the Blue Jays load the bases with Vlad coming up, they might use Devin Williams there. Like, I think he's going to be a high leverage guy as opposed to just a solid 8th inning guy. Right. Whereas I think Bednar is just always in the nine hole.
Interesting. Okay.
I have a question for you. Can I ask a Fanmail Friday question?
Yeah.
My first one. And I want the chat to answer too. I need a haircut. And am I not allowed to get one because of the playoff run? Like, do I have to keep, I'm getting the gray hairs poking in on the side and it's too long and I need my beard taken care of, but I just have to let it go caveman until they're eliminated, correct?
Yes. You can't touch anything.
I agree. Okay. I was thinking the same thing and I was afraid to make an appointment, but thankfully you confirmed.
Wait, let's see what the chat says. I'm very superstitious. Yeah. See, okay. So Reaper says, no, don't get a haircut. Yeah. Anyone else in there? Because I agree. Just don't mess with the mojo.
Yeah, I kind of think it's going to have to be that way. It's going to get pretty gross over here, but thank you, Casey. I appreciate that you like my hair the way it is.
And maybe you can braid it because it's pretty long.
Yeah, the top gets pretty long if you see over here. So I don't know if I'm going to like, you know what? We're going to leave it alone. You guys have
You've spoken.
See, Junior Mafia is waiting too. Yeah, I agree. Let it get caveman. Like, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah. I'm not trying to impress anyone. We're good.
Excuse me, my cat is rubbing up against me. Okay, next question is from Chris F. I know before you guys mentioned you preferred the wild card game over the current format. If that was still the case, would be home and done. I never liked that after fighting 162 games. I actually think Manfred did the right thing here. Has your mind changed now with this series? Also, sorry, Brian, about last week's question with Harper. Meant no harm. Thank you, guys, and let's go Yankees.
It still hurts that you brought Harper up again. It's like mentioning an ex-girlfriend's name. Like, just stop, man. No, I disagree. I still like the one-game format more. I mean, yeah, the Yankees would have been home and eliminated, sure, but I think starting off with a Game 7 is better. I think it's more entertaining. I think it's better for the sport. And the argument to playing 162 and not, the argument to not wanting it to come down to one game after 162 is don't put yourself in the position to be in the wild card game, win the division. Yep. So, I mean, that's the argument that I would have. But I think if all of these series would have been one
Cleveland, and you make the wild card round as the division winner, and then you get knocked out.
Yeah, but if all these series were one games, it would have been awesome. I think it creates a lot more urgency, and also it puts the Yankees in a better position going into the division series.
Yeah, I also think that Boone would have managed differently if it were one game. I don't think he pulls Fried.
Please.
I don't think he does.
I don't know what he does. I don't know.
But I love it. He was bullied into keeping Cam Schlittler in that game on Thursday night.
Good. And Rodon. Like, good. Like, that if that's what we have to do as a fan base, then good. Richard S. says, how weird will it be having the captain number 23 introduced at the stadium and wearing a Blue Jays uniform?
Ugh, it's going to hurt.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to say the captain.
Well, right. They're just going to say that it's Don Mattingly, but I think people will give him an applause, obviously, because everyone loves Don Mattingly. I
think he'll give him an applause. I don't think it'll be very noticeable. Because I was in the building last night because Bucky Dent was there. He threw out the first pitch and they showed him in the suite in the first inning. I think to try and get the crowd riled. No one noticed. Like no one really cared. And
that's because you're all babies.
But yeah, it might have to do with the younger crowd that goes to these games now and they don't appreciate Dent. That could definitely make sense. But the crowd also I don't think has the appreciation for Don Mattingly either. So I don't know if you're going to get a massive ovation for Don Mattingly. In a regular season game, yes. In a playoff game, I'm not sure.
Okay.
You don't think so? I mean, I know legendary Yankee. Like I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying in a postseason game, I don't know if it's the most thing that's ever.
It's more people. It would be more people my age because we just go nuts whenever we see Mattingly because we love him so much. Because
yes, I'm aware. He is a beloved Yankee, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, our next question is from Malachi. I was waiting to see if the Yankees wanted to ask this. It says
it's got to be who do you?
I think it's who do you pick to win the World Series? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I would honestly say right now I'm pulling for the Yankees, but if you're asking me a personal question of who I think is going to win the World Series, I think the winner of Phillies-Dodgers wins the World Series. I think that series is the de facto World Series. Now, both those teams scare me. And if I had to pick between those, I think it's Philadelphia.
Right.
I think this is their year to get through. And even minus Wheeler, which is crazy to say. They finally fixed their bullpen, which has been a bugaboo for years past. And I think ultimately that's what hurts the Dodgers, Stacey. But
yes.
yeah, I think it's Philadelphia.
I would agree with that.
But I think the Yankees have an open path to the pennant right now.
I mean, I hope so. It would be really nice. Here, I'm looking for something to go along with our next question because I saw it earlier and I need to find it. I forgot to put it into the rundown. So bear with me.
Is it what Boone said about it? Boone commented on the Buck Martinez.
Oh, no, I didn't know that Boone said something. I was just going to I was going to let everyone know what he said because why can't I find it? It was here.
Oh, I got it. I have the exact quote in front of me right now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's do this.
So Eric S. asked, thanks. Do you think Buck Martinez's comments on the Yankees not being a very good team can give the Yankees additional motivation? Before I even read the quote to you, yes. But the quote was, the Yankees, they're not a good team. I don't care what their record is. They have a lot of wild pitches and they make a lot of mistakes in the field. They don't run the bases very well. That was Buck Martinez, the commentator for the Blue Jays on their cast when they played the Houston Astros in early August. Boone today was asked about that question. And Boone's response, which I thought was very good, actually. Boone said, contrary to some thoughts up here, we're actually a really good team. I know Buck had some thoughts. That's all I was responding to. He's wrong. So I like Boone's comment there. I absolutely think this is going to be used as motivation. 1,000. It should be plastered all over the locker room. I absolutely think that. And he made those comments at a very convenient time when the Yankees were not playing very good baseball.
Right.
So let's key that in. Post trade deadline, and I'm gonna use this with a little bit of an asterisk. Post trade deadline up until like last third of August. The Yankees are a completely different team since then. They field a lot better. Their trade deadline acquisitions have been great. They have a bench. They have a legitimate bench, right? Between whoever's platoon, like Rosario's not a good everyday player. He proved that on the Nationals. He's a damn good platoon player, right? When he plays every other day and he gets to go in against lefties, he's a really good platoon player. So you have a player like Rosario. When he's not available or can't play, or you need a guy off the spark plug off the bench, you have Caballero. You have Paul Goldschmidt or Ben Rice. You have Ryan McMahon. You have great fielding and great hitting coming off of your bench at all times. And you have Jason Dominguez, which is buried in the bench. That's your last guy on the bench is Jason Dominguez. So put that into context for a second. This team has completely changed. You have David Bednar out of the bullpen right now, which is a completely they didn't have remotely close to that. It's Fernando Cruz wasn't on the roster at that point because he was still hurt. This team is just completely different than it was, and it's playing at a different level than it was. That was also at the period of time where Aaron Judge was coming back from the injury and not fully healed yet.
Not right. Yep.
This is a completely different team. Max Fried was in his spunk at that point. Cam Schlittler wasn't necessarily thought of as Cam Schlittler at this point yet. So it's not the same roster. It's not the same team. So and by the way, too, a guy that we didn't give, I don't think we gave enough credit to on the post games that we did, or the casts that we did, the live reactions afterwards. Anthony Volpe had a tremendous wild card series, both fielding and hitting. So
fielding was amazing.
He saved a couple runs on jazz errors that were thrown to second base on attempted double plays. So we have to get rid of that notion that they are. I still think there are plenty of flaws in this roster, but they are not the bad team that they were at that point in time when these comments were made.
Right. All right, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when our videos go up. You can also listen to us on every podcasting platform available. We also have a TikTok, so follow us there, LockedOn_Yankees. Coming up next, more Fanmail Friday questions.
That's right, guys, and this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Every day we make decisions, but on PrizePicks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement on this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Playing PrizePicks is just a fun, simple way to add more excitement to your football Sundays. You just pick more or less on player projections, like Josh Allen's passing yards or Saquon Barkley rushing for a touchdown, and you're in on the game. I love how quick it is. You can make your lineup in just under a minute. And my favorite part, PrizePicks just added the stacks feature. So if I want to ride with a player, I can select their pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns all in one lineup. It's also fun to follow other players in the app and copy their lineups with just one click. And the new injury reboot feature, if your player leaves early and doesn't return, it won't count against you. That's the best feeling. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code ONEWORD-LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ONEWORD-LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Say I have the common issue where when I do the commercial reads, I try to do it off of my computer, and I have an iPad to the side so I can focus on the show notes, but I try to focus on my computer, so I'm looking forward at you guys when I'm giving you a read, and I could not find the read on my computer, and then it froze while I was trying to scroll down to it. So if you noticed me struggling there, I hope my broadcasting skills were good enough to people not to notice.
I didn't even notice.
Good. So I'm lifting the curtain, letting you guys know that I did a poor job as a broadcaster right there.
But it's so scary when you're doing it live and something messes up, like either the scroll on your computer or something freezes, and you're just like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
my computer overall, great for the last 5 years. I'm glad the first time it decided to significantly freeze was 15 seconds ago when I was doing a live read.
Of course. Yeah.
Steven Rubin G9L says, what are the Yankees going to do about their first base issue? Goldie is on a 1-year contract and may retire after this year. Maybe go after the polar bear. Let's go Yanks. Stacey, I think this one's solved. Go ahead. But I think this one's solved.
These are our YouTube questions. We're done with our insider questions.
Yeah. I'm sorry, insiders.
Have you not done this show for a year and a half? Come on.
I have. I'm so giddy and anxious and up in arms about the last week.
Do not go after the polar bear. No. Why do they need Pete Alonso? They have Ben Rice.
Yeah, I also think I'm going to be honest, and this is not an anti-Met thing by any means. I don't think a Pete Alonso contract ages well.
No, I don't think so either. I don't.
Like, and he's going to be
at the point soon.
Now, and he's going to want a 5 or 6 year deal. Like he doesn't want a deal that's if he wants a 1-year deal, if he wants the deal he got last year with the Mets, I'd sign him to that. I would. A 1-year deal, $35 million. Yeah, come on in and hit 40 home runs. No problem with that. He doesn't want that.
Here's something interesting, okay? Because Met fans love Pete Alonso. And I feel like if the Mets let him go, they will revolt. But here's the thing. I don't think he's long for first base, but I also don't think Juan Soto is long for right field because he doesn't play right field that well. And I think he's going to be a DH way sooner than people think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it might be an issue.
And look at the problem the Yankees ran into this year with DH, right? With days when they're going to play Rice or not, or Goldschmidt and Judge and Stanton getting hurt, and Stanton's a primarily, they don't have room for a Pete Alonso if he's going to be a DH. Now, again, Scott Boras goes, hey, Pete Alonso really wants to stick it to the Mets, and he wants to play for the Yankees next year for a 1-year deal, and the Yankees want to give him $34 million for a 1-year deal. Have at it. I would love Pete Alonso under that case. They ain't doing that. Scott Boras doesn't agree to those kind of deals. He wants like a 6-year deal at 33 years old, and you can't do that with a player like this. It's that is a stuck in the mud kind of contract if I've ever seen one. I don't know if Goldschmidt retires necessarily. I wanted to comment on that part. Goldschmidt had a fine year.
Yeah.
And he's only 34 years old. Like, I don't think Goldschmidt's necessarily wanting to retire immediately. What I would say is I think there's a better chance that just Ben Rice is their full-time first baseman next year.
Right.
I don't think that's off the cuff. Like, he had a great year primarily playing they didn't really start playing him at catcher until like July or August, Stacey. He had a really good year at first base.
Goldschmidt's 38, by the way.
He is? I thought he was much younger than that.
Yeah, no, he was born in 87.
I don't think he didn't have a bad enough year.
Yeah, no, he
was in
fine.
the retirement conversation. Yeah, I think he would easily go to I don't think a competitor's signing him.
Right.
But could you see him if he still wants to play?
Yeah, I think
could you see him next year on the Texas Rangers? Like, I think he could be there. So no, I don't think he's retiring. I don't have a problem with Ben Rice going in as their everyday first baseman.
Yeah, just have him work at first more, and things will be okay. All right, next question. Kevin Sweeney from YouTube. Why do you think Ryan Yarbrough was left off the wild card roster?
Because they kept Will Warren on the roster and Luis Heel, which meant they were their long relief guys.
Right.
They weren't going to use Ryan Yarbrough as a long relief. If they don't need that many long relief guys. And not going to lie, Ryan Yarbrough did not finish the year off good at all. His minor league numbers were not good. His major league numbers were not good. He's out of the circle of trust, and right now you have to go with who's best. That's it.
Right.
Let's go to NY Greek Firefighter. A while ago, I asked about Cam Schlittler being converted to a reliever. After tonight's game, can I take that question back? Schlitt happens. Go Yankees.
Yes, you're allowed to take that question back. Because we were toying with that idea before I thought about. Because
I wasn't. I want to stand on that. I was not. I was full Cam Schlittler starter.
Remember at first I was thinking that game 3 would be Heel, but then I turned around and was like, no, I think it's going to be Schlittler because of the way he's pitching. And wouldn't that be something if they decided to go with the kid in the 3rd game? And they did, and he pitched he pitched the best game of his life.
Yes. I personally, I was never on the Cam Schlittler to the bullpen thing. I think they need to develop him as a full-time starter.
Oh yeah. Right.
And I think from day one, his stuff has proven to be that filthy where I think he needs to be developed as just Stacey, I'm not kidding when I say this, and this is not coming off of yesterday's performance because it's funny. If you paid attention to the national coverage, which I got a lot of throughout all day Friday, everybody was talking about him as, this rookie. No one realized how good he's been throughout the entire season. I mean, we know because we watch every day.
Right, like he had a couple of clunkers, but for the most part, he was really good.
He finished with an under 3 ERA. He had over 100 strike. He was great. Yeah. So, no, I don't. I think he needs to be. I think he has Cy Young capable stuff, like one day in his career. So, no, I do not think Cam Schlittler, it should not go anywhere near having him as a reliever. He should be a full-time starter, and that's it.
Right. Okay, next question, Colin Martin, 7783. I love this. Do you guys have the name of Fernando Cruz's cardiologist? Asking for a friend. I might need his cardiologist at this rate.
Listen, and everyone says he's one of those guys where it's I don't think any of that is contrived at all. I'm sure Blue Jays fans are going to start saying that.
Right.
I think it's all just pure raw.
He grew up liking the Yankees, and after a career, he's 35 years old, and after a full career and being in Cincinnati, he got traded to the Yankees.
And he's in a playoff
living
run.
out his lifelong dream, and he's in the middle of a playoff run. So I would be just as excited.
And this is the first time in his career where his stuff has really, he's been one of the elite arms in the sport.
Yeah.
At this point, which happens to a lot of relievers, by the way, where they just they figure it out at 33, which is so crazy. But yeah, I feel really great for him. I love that he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I don't think any of it's remotely fake, contrived at all. At all. Gary A87. Hey, Stacey and Bri, thanks for all your hard work and making my commute entertaining. We finally beat the Red Sox in the postseason again, assuming we make it past the Jays. Who would you hope to face in the CS and World Series? Who would I hope and who do I think is different?
Yeah, I don't want to assume that we're going to make it past the Jays. I don't want to jinx them.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I'm not scared of anyone that is in front of them in the American League.
I'm not either. I think they could beat anyone that they
Either
face.
One is beatable. Either one is beatable.
Really? Because we said it. Actually, I feel like it's the same way in the National League too. Like all the teams that are playing, sure, the Phillies are a bit above the other ones, but not that much above to where they couldn't get upset by one of the teams they're playing.
I do think Philly is better than the Yankees by a little bit of a margin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the Dodgers are that much better.
I mean AL and NL separately. AL, everyone's pretty even. Anyone can get upset.
Oh, okay. I'd agree with that.
And then with the NL, the Phillies are a little bit above everyone else, but they still could get upset because it's happened before, but they're not so far ahead that they're the clear front runner.
No, it's pretty open. It's pretty open.
Yeah. All right. Well, coming up, we have more Fan Mail Friday questions. I just have to get everything lined up so I can do this really quick. So we have more Fan Mail Friday questions, and we'll be answering your questions in the chat. So again, don't put them up too soon, but put them up a bit later and we will answer them. So we'll do that in a moment.
What's up, guys? Here to talk to you about FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you just don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You just pick a bet, you put $5 down, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel is the best. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays. I've tried player props. I'm even following the live lines during the games. It's so easy to use and so great, especially if you're a big football fan. It makes watching the games even more exciting when you got a little bit of action riding on the game. And whether you're a casual fan or you love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience that much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com now and download the FanDuel app today to get started. And guys, good news. Not only do we cover your team every day, but we're also giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. It's hosted by Jay Berman. It appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed, and it also streams on our YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. Also, be tuned for all playoff games where we go live. Stacey and Brian, you can hear us live after every game, breaking down what happened, whether we're miserable, happy. It's a therapy session no matter what's going on. We'll cry with you. We'll laugh with you. We'll cheer with you. Doesn't matter. So we're here for you guys. And that's free.
Yeah.
Not charging anyone for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're not charging you by the hour like a regular therapist. So
just announced a few hours ago, about an hour ago, actually. The home games for the Yankees on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Tuesday's game, home game one of the ALDS will be at 8:08 p.m. and Wednesday's game, October 8th, will be at 7:08 p.m. So there's the announcement. Still nothing that I see on who will be starting for the Yankees in tomorrow's game. They officially announced it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that on our next episode. But yes, Heel. They have nothing else announced, but Heel starting game 1.
Okay, I did not see that. Okay, sounds good.
Which means Fried would probably be game 2.
It looks like then Fried will be game 2, and then Rodon will get 3, Schlittler 4. Then that sets up Fried for game 5.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Ted P3D. He says, I feel like I noticed something throughout the year that also played out last night in game 1, and I'd love to see a stat on it. Jazz is an emotional player. Whether he visibly argues with an ump over a called strike call or it seems to unsettle him, and I don't think I've seen him get a hit in that bat where he does so. As soon as he argued the strike call last night, I thought he's making it out. Thoughts?
Jazz is an emotional dude. But I have noticed that also sometimes where he gets a little pissy with the umps and he gets a little unsettled and then he doesn't really recover from it, it seems sometimes. I wish he would table that a bit, because I know the big joke was when they announced that ABS was happening that Boone said something to Jazz right away.
Yeah,
about not challenging calls.
I actually, I'm not going to fight you on that opinion. I think that is, I think one of the best parts of Jazz's game is that he wears his emotions on his sleeve, but I think at times that can come back to bite him.
Right.
And I think it does come back to bite him at times where he takes himself out of an at bat. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Next up, Empire State Sports Report. Long time, first time. What a win. I'm married to a Red Sox fan. I know. But man, the last 14 hours have been fun. What are your best trash talk comments that I should harass him with forever? Thanks, and go Yanks. I don't think comments. I think just pictures. Just keep sending him pictures of Cam Schlittler, because that's what I'm leaving on. There's a trend on TikTok where people are pretending like my kid won't say this and they won't say this, and it's Red Sox fans saying go Yankees, and we're all just leaving pictures of Cam Schlittler in everyone's comments.
I'm a little more vicious when it comes to the trash talk. Like, I gotta be honest, Empire State Sports Report, I'd start DMing him like Yankees win kind of stuff, just constantly throughout the day. Wear your Yankee jersey around the house, like just doing errands. Just wear make sure there's no name on the back, but we're walking around the house, wear short shorts with the jersey hanging over it and just walk around and, be that kind of fan. Make sure every game is on volume, full blast. So when he gets welcomed home from work, he's got the game on immediately for him. I would play with him a little bit like that. I think that's worthy. But how do you, I did it. You know what? I was actually thinking that too. Because the last couple of days, I work my 9 to 5 is in Manhattan, so I was taking the train to Yankee Stadium, which I don't do often at all. And taking the train to Yankee Stadium, I saw a lot of Yankee Red Sox couples.
How does that work? There's so many mixed couples. I don't understand. I dated a Red Sox fan once, and it was the worst.
The Yankee Met, I get. Yankee, I probably could do Yankees Red Sox because I don't have that like built-in. Like, I could never do Rangers Islanders. If I legitimately, if I went on a date with an Islander fan, that would be a deal breaker. But I would not be able to do it. So I don't know how you guys do that stuff, especially in a playoff series. Do you just not? How do you watch those games together?
Yeah.
Do you just not talk? Does someone go to the local bar and someone stays home? Like,
yeah,
I couldn't do it.
To do that. No.
I'm too emotional watching these games, so I can't imagine. God bless, but BMB 30 shots says, do y'all think Cam could be the number 2? I think so. He hasn't disappointed, but he just put the team on his back with this one. I think he's more trusted than Rodon right now.
Right now, yeah. And it would be interesting breaking up the lefties, I guess, right? And putting.
I think it benefits them, to be honest, because if Cole was healthy, how would they have started the wild card series? I think there's potential it would have been freed Cole Rodon. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I think he has number 1 stuff. That's how good I think Cam Schlittler can be. And remember this too. I wanted to bring this up too. We talked about Cam Schlittler in spring training this year because he had a couple of really good spring training appearances. We were like, who is this kid? Because he kind of came out of nowhere and he was his Ks per 9 in spring training was insane. So we were talking about him in spring training, but we also kind of both acknowledge I don't think he appears the major league level for at least a year or 2. And he wasn't supposed to without the injuries. So it is crazy where we've gotten with that, but I don't think they'll move into number 2 right now in the play. I think they're going to keep it the way it is. Yeah. But yeah, I'd agree. He could be as quick as a number 2 next year, I think. That's how good he is.
All right, next question from Casey Cotreau, 7050. Do you guys think Jose Caballero will remain a Yankee when his contract is up with how well he has performed for us?
For the right price. Like, I don't think I think he's an awesome player to have on your bench, but I don't think that kind of player is difficult to find. No offense to Jose Caballero, but he's a speedy guy who hits 270 and fields a solid glove. That there's a lot, like Ahmed Rosario is that. There's a couple of them around the league. I love Jose Caballero. I think he's a spark plug, but I think for the right price, they bring him back. They're not going to move heaven and earth to get him back.
Yeah.
Lisa Bruzy B3T says, Stacy and Brian, my dad was among 74-year diehard Yankee fan. Do you think, like he did, if you're a diehard fan, you're a fan whether they win or lose? Also, too, Stacy, how do you feel about women being and following baseball, especially Yankees, through thick and thin? Sorry about
that. Yes. Well, you're a fan if because some people, I joke about taking a break from this team, but I can't quit this team.
No. I would say this. There are parameters to die hard. I think that word is used way too loosely. Like nowadays it gets used by Yankee fans who watch 10 games during the season and then show up to the playoffs and have to post it all over their Instagram. And that's not a diehard fan.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not. Just because you have a number 2 tattoo doesn't make you a diehard fan. Like
I watched every game before I even was covering the Yankees. Like I would stay up to watch West Coast games when I was working a 9 to 5.
There are, I think it's fluid, but there are parameters to being a diehard fan to a team. And I don't think it necessarily has to do with like knowing every historical fact about the team and that kind of stuff. But I'll be honest, I think the team has to, and this is not a positive, but the team has to affect you emotionally. Like losses have to hurt in big games, like legitimately, and losses don't. I went to work after game 1. So that was that Wednesday. I walked into my job visibly angry on Wednesday morning, like upset, like something awful happened to me. It emotionally affected me up until the next morning. So I'm not saying it's a positive to go through life that way, but I think that is what is considered a diehard. It has to emotionally trigger you.
I told you guys this story. I'm going to tell it again in case new people are watching this. The morning after the Yankees lost in 2004, my boss sent an email out to the entire floor. I was not put on the email. She said, do not speak to Stacy unless she speaks to you. And by noon, I was like, why is no one talking to me?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening around here? And I'm like, I'm fine. I saw it was like a slow motion car crash. I could see the series being lost after game 4. I'm fine. Just talk to me. Stop treating me like this. But everyone at work knew. They knew.
It is one of those things that is just intrinsically built into you. And as terrible as they play, if they won 60 games this year, I would have watched every game.
Right.
I'm not saying that's a positive, by the way. Like, I don't think that's a great characteristic and trait to have.
Right.
And I think, like, for me, potentially to get married one day, it's going to take a special kind of person to put up with the sports fandom. I fully am on board with that and understand it.
I am not married.
There you go. But like, I do, like, you know, it's just intrinsically as part of who I am as a human being. Yeah. So like, there is nothing that can stop me from watching the games coming up. One of my best friends, we were supposed to go to a concert tomorrow night for a band that I love. I'm just not going tomorrow night. Like, because the Yankees are going to be on and I might miss the end part of the game. I'm just not going to the concert. Like, and concerts are a huge part of my life. But it was like, sorry, Yankees. And like, she totally understood. But like, that's what it is. That's what my life is. Like, it's unfortunate, but that's, you know, the life of a sports fan. I'm sure a lot of you understand.
All right. Our last question is from XJSCV. Thank you both for renewing my interest enough to watch again, or to again watch the games and not just wait for the recaps. The talent is just too amazing to ignore. So how about a little chuckle? Did the Mets offer Soto something the Yanks just couldn't? An October off? Thanks for your show. It's great.
That's a really good clapback. A really good final question.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is. No, they offered him more money, and Soto only cares about money, and that's what happened. You know, but we're glad that you guys are enjoying these recap shows and these. I guess, you know, we do have a postcast, but these post shows that we're doing too, because we're really breaking it down into a fine powder, and I think that me and Stacey will give you the opinions and things you notice in the game that are a little beyond just, oh, this guy homered in the fifth. A little bit beyond those kind of things. So we're trying to give you a little bit of the inside stuff you might not have thought of when you're watching. And also, going back to the diehard comment, I think me and Stacey both watch these playoff games with a little too much attention to detail and intent. Like, we don't sit back and relax and just watch the game and enjoy the emotional. I'm like
sitting forward like this. Like, I can't.
But we're noticing, oh, Bednar's shoes are untied. Like every little thing we're noticing. So I'm glad that me and Stacey can bring you guys those little things that you might have just been watching at the edge of your seat, but not realizing these little nuances that happen throughout the game. And we can bring them to you so you can be like, oh, I didn't notice that. It's pretty cool. So I think we provide that for you guys. So I'm glad that we do.
Reaper says, you are married. You just don't know it yet.
Huh. You know, it can happen at any time, Stacey. You're never too old.
I mean,
age is just a number.
It's true. I know people who, I know someone who actually, my uncle got married for the first time when he was 57.
There you go. And you're not even close to that. So
no, I'm still 6 years away from that. So I have
Hinge
time.
Hinge still works.
Oh, no.
Well, or whatever platform you use, yankeepeoplemeet.com, I guess you could use, you know.
Do you know how many people I know who got together for meeting on Twitter? And I'm not even kidding. I know at least,
I don't know if I'd go the Twitter route.
Seven couples.
Yeah, the Twitter route.
Couples who met, got married, and are having kids from meeting on Twitter.
No, Twitter feels too extreme. If I went into my DMs on Twitter and tried to meet my soulmate, my soulmate's not on there.
No, but some people met from, we used to have, when Twitter was not a cesspool, way back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, when Twitter was, you know, nascent and a baby, we would have Yankee tweet ups and we would meet at Yankee games. And if we didn't have tickets in the same spot, we'd meet up at a place. Like everyone, I had a tradition during 2009. I had a specific pair of jeans I wore to every game. And I had a specific routine that I did. I went to Johnny Rockets in the top of the fourth inning every day that I went to Yankee Stadium, got my vanilla shake. So people knew from the jeans and knew that I'd be there to meet me at Johnny Rockets. So
yeah, no, I don't know if I'd ever meet someone, definitely not from the YouTube comments. I would not meet someone from there. But yeah, I mean, hey, I don't, age is just a number, right?
Yeah, I guess. Christy is asking which game we think Schlittler will pitch. I'm assuming game 4 if they get to, oh wait, they have to get to game 4, right? Because they're not going to get swept.
I mean, they don't have to, but you know,
they're not getting swept.
It'll be game 4.
We'll put that into the universe. They're not getting swept.
You know what? He will be pitching a potential clinching game for either side.
Right.
So, and how could you not trust him after what he did in game 3?
Right. So that'll be interesting. I'm just looking for any more questions that you guys had.
There were a lot of, I don't know if you noticed this, there were a lot of Yankee media people who were saying after the game yesterday that Cam Schlittler's performance was the best Yankee playoff performance ever. That is not accurate. I just wanted to throw that out there. It is one of the top pitching performances of all time in the postseason. There is no doubt about that. Like it is.
Would you say it's the best pitching performance by a Yankee in a do or die game?
No.
Who?
Well, Don Larson's didn't win the World Series. So I wouldn't call that a do or die game, but it was in the World Series. Roger Clemens saved them in 2000, right? That was like an 18 strikeout, 1 hit performance or something. That was insane. Yeah, it's a top 10 pitching performance in the history of baseball, the postseason. I'm not arguing how good it was, but I don't know if it's not.
The Clemens game was 0-1, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 0-1? Okay. It was against Seattle. It was against Seattle, right? Yeah, it was. It was in Seattle.
Or was that 2000? Wait a minute.
It was 2001. It was 2001 because that was the year that Seattle had the ridiculous offense.
Okay.
And it was such a big storyline because he shut down one of the greatest offenses ever with A-Rod and Griffey and Edgar and everything. So that was 2001. And it was like 18 strikeouts, like 2 hits, something ridiculous. Which is a better statistical, but whether you can debate that in Schlittler, fine. Don Larson's in the World Series and it's a perfect game.
Right.
And the no-hitter in the post. No one's thrown a perfect game in the postseason since a no-hitter record stood for 50 years. So no.
Also, someone said that, which inning was it? After a certain inning, he didn't even reach a 3-ball count.
He only let 2 guys past second base, on second base.
Past first base. Yeah, it was just second base.
Yeah, past first base. Like that. Yeah. That's when you go over the little stats inside his start, it's even more impressive. He was insane. It was insane how good he was. And by the way, the clapbacks that he had on social media today,
so funny. But apparently people were being so bad to his mom that I can understand why he was clapping back at these people.
He did tweet on his own something about, because he's from Boston. He grew up in the Boston area. Definitely grew up a Red Sox fan. I don't know how that makes some of you feel, but it's the truth. Where he posted "drinking that dirty water," which is a great clapback to Boston. Obviously, that their hashtag is #dirty water. Like that is big onto them. But this one's great. Someone quote tweeted his dirty water tweet and wrote, "You're not from Boston." Cam Schlittler comments, "Went to school in Boston for 3 years. I live in Southie during the offseason, which is the southern area of Boston. Start preparing for the Bruins season, homie." Which is
I dated someone from Southie. I know all about Southie.
Terrific clapback. And then the last one, which is great. Lucy Burge, who used to work for Odyssey. I think she works for DraftKings now. I'm not
so funny.
She posts a picture, like she's a big Red Sox influencer, and she's a sports gambling content person now. She posts a rather revealing photo.
Thirst trap. It's a thirst trap.
Sure. Yeah. The breasts are pushed up. The jersey is open. She's getting your eyes to look.
And it's cropped, and she's wearing shorts. I saw it. Yeah.
She's getting you to look in more directions than just her face.
And believe me, if I still could do that, I would, but it's not 20 years ago. So
she posts that photo online and writes "Sox in 3." Almost minutes after the game, Cam Schlittler comments on her post, "Not this year." Tremendous. Tremendous stuff.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely love it.
I do. I love it. But again, Red Sox fans were being so mean to his mom. She had to put her socials on private because they were being just gross.
Horrible stuff. Yeah. Grow up.
So if he's at least he's being funny about it, his clapbacks are good. So
you know what
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't get, and I'm not saying this as a Yankee fan, athletes in general. I totally understand flooding his DMs and comments before he starts. I don't agree with the stuff they're probably writing to him, but I get it. I understand you're trying to get him off his game. You're trying to get him thinking about stuff. I understand that. Going to his mom, I don't even think she's telling him a lot of this stuff. I think his friends are probably letting him know, but what does that do for you? I would never do it to an athlete, but
I wouldn't do it either.
Parent, I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying I understand the hate tweets towards Cam Schlittler. I don't agree with it, but I get the rationale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand going after his mom.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Like,
yeah, that's too much.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. You made him angry, and then he made your team look ridiculous, and the Yankees won the game. So.
And I think it made him, there's probably always that little bit of an affinity growing up a baseball fan in Boston for the Red Sox. I think it made him hate the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it made him a true, like, he's a Yankee fan now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Although I do like that he lived. I love Southie, by the way. Haven't been there in my last couple of trips to Boston. When I stay in Boston, I stay in the Seaport District, and it's right above Southie. But I dated a guy in Southie 27 years ago. Yeah. Wow.
I was okay. Old.
And thank you. And
I was not dating at the time.
And he took me to a fancy restaurant. It was called Anthony's. Like, it was on the pier.
Okay.
And it was like famous in Boston.
All right.
It's no longer there now because they built up the Seaport, and now the Seaport District has all these expensive condos, hotels, and the restaurant's gone. The pier is still there, but the restaurant is gone. Because when I was there the first time, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this is where he took me to that restaurant all those years ago. And I asked someone, they're like, oh yeah, it used to be right over there, but they knocked it down. I was like, they knocked it down, I think 2016, I want to say, or maybe that was the last year it was closed. But yeah, that was depressing. That was depressing.
Boston's a good town. Good time. I like Boston.
Oh, I thought about this. Tell me in the chat. Okay, this is also an old reference from 1997, 98, but I wanted to do a Good Will Hunting reference towards Red Sox fans and say, how do you like them apples after the Yankees won? And I forgot to do it. So there you go. That's what I'm going to do. Because, you know what it was? If you watched last night's live, I screwed up the open, accidentally had Brian there instead of me. Then I had to put myself into the screen, and it was just...
Schlit happens.
Schlit happens. I mean, you can't help things. All right. So what are we doing? Oh, yes. Okay. So after this, it's not going to be live. It's going to be one of our recorded shows that we have over the next few weeks.
Literally, yeah.
We're going to do a division series preview. I put the rundown together. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Now that we know who's pitching game one, we have even more stuff to talk about. So this episode, obviously live on YouTube, I'm going to put the sound up as soon as possible. And then the preview will go up normal time. So 3 a.m. like I normally put it up. So you have it all day Saturday to listen to before the game starts at 4:08, right? Saturday start is 4:08. Yep. So look out for that. We'll tell you everything you need to know about the division series, what we think is going to happen, how we think the teams match up. It's very interesting. First time Yankees, Blue Jays ever in the playoffs. So it should be very interesting.
True, wow.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us and making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night, every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this live edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.